dealing with pregnancy by yourself can be one of the reasons why a lot of women in the US suffer from postpartum depression. I did. And that's what I want to talk about today. I am trying to be more open and more personal and try to talk about my experience and everything that I went through that helped me become this version that I want to share with everybody, because I don't think it's very common to talk about postpartum depression. It's really sad. A lot of women don't talk about it, and a lot of us don't talk about it because we're afraid to feel that guilt, that shame. Like, I mean, I that's how I felt. I felt like at some point the reason why I fell into postpartum depression was because I felt guilt and I felt ashamed for feeling lonely, for feeling sad, for not being really, really super happy and energetic and having everything down to the T when it comes down to being a first time mom. And being a first time mom is just, it's so scary. It's so scary because you don't know what to do. And at first, for me, it was so scary to ask my mom, to ask my family, to ask my friends, to ask other moms. I felt ashamed. And I would try to look for that information outside of me. And like, I would try to find it online. I would try to find it all of, everywhere, and try to find also how to heal. And I was trying to do that all by myself, and I believe that if I had only approached people differently, if I had not had that shame, that guilt, if I had not felt like I had to be a perfect mom, quote unquote, as a first time mom, I feel like I wouldn't have went through all of that. If I had just opened myself up and opened my heart. And I feel like a lot of us nowadays, we're not opening our heart. We're not opening our, we're not being, compassionate. And that's sad. Compassion is something that we rarely talk about, or we rarely do towards others, inclusive, even us. I feel like we're so hard on ourselves, especially as moms, and especially me. That's how I am. I am very hard on myself. I self-judge a lot and self-criticize my bad, and I just, every time I'm doing something wrong, I get upset at myself. I judge myself, and I try to make myself feel bad or shame me so I can do things better. But in reality, is that we have to approach everything with love. And that's one of the things that going through this postpartum depression and like overcoming this postpartum depression helped me learn. And I learned it, that also helped me heal. I healed because I realized that I needed to give myself love. I needed to give myself compassion. I needed to heal from inside out in order to really understand everything about being a mom and everything about trying to be better and be happier and not be sad anymore, because I was just trapped. I was trapped. I felt sad because I thought that if, for one part, I would think, wow, my body's not the same anymore. Um, I don't look the same anymore, and I was so sad that all the beauty that I had was gone in my head. In my head it was. And and just because I gained a few pounds and all that other stuff, and we don't normalize that. We don't normalize that our bodies are human. Our bodies are going to not be perfect for all our lives, especially when you're a mom. And that is the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. That is beautiful to see all those changes, because they are life. We're birthing life and we're creating life, and that should be beautiful. But society wants to make it seem like we're supposed to bounce right back into that body that was not giving life yet. And it's a big thing. We should be compassionate of our bodies, our emotions, and everything. And I feel like until I had my baby, until all of that happened, my pregnancy and all those issues that I had, I feel like I had to go through that in order to be more aware. And it helped me be more aware of my emotions and everyone's emotions, and also to understand life in a different way, in the way of more love, compassion, and creativity. And that's because that's what I did. I created life, and it's so powerful. It's so powerful to be able to create life, and we need to go back to that. We need to go back to praising and celebrating and respecting and adoring women, adoring us, most like, making us feel like we're the queens. We without us there is no life. And now I understand that, and it took me a while to understand that. I am very happy that I went through all of this, so I can talk about it and talk about how to heal from something that is so difficult to get over. I had a lot of times after my pregnancy, after postpartum, a lot of moments where I felt like I was just, everyone was just better off without me, because I was so sad. And I felt like I just, like my presence was not welcome anymore, because I wasn't me anymore. And I couldn't even recognize myself in the mirror sometimes. And one day I just decided to wake up. I decided to change that. I decided to feel better. I decided that I was going to love myself again. I was going to be the same girl from before I had a baby. So I was going to feel that way again. But now I would also have that wisdom from being a mom. And it made a huge difference. It made me into the woman that I am now. And I feel like I am so sexy and so beautiful. I am very wise. I am very intelligent. And I'm confident about that. I am confident about everything that I've done and everything that I've manifested in my life. And I am thankful and graceful, because once we understand that we don't have to compete against everyone, is when a lot of us as women are gonna stop trying to prove ourselves to others, but rather proving ourselves that we can be better, and accepting that there are gonna be changes along the way, and that is for the better, because we need that. We need those images. We need that person that is, we need that older wise woman to tell us, to go back and tell us, and shape us into a beautiful woman, into a beautiful girl, into a beautiful teenager, and so on. We, little by little, we're raising the future, and we're not gonna be stuck anymore in that terrible depression that we all fall into every time someone has a baby. And I am very thankful for that.